Jambo, our first of 7 series conversations about the African boy. We began by introducing what the 412 stands for, because we're talking about 412 boys, raising the kind of boys who will be great men. And we said we have the 4 commitments and the 4 Ds. I know that you watched that, and if you haven't, please go back and watch that. We have the 1 consideration, and we have the 2 causes of that boy. 412, that's where it comes from. And today I continue by talking about the needs of this young man. What does the African boy and the boy child, for that matter, need? What is he looking for? And this could be a 1-hour conversation, but I want to narrow it down just to a few minutes by talking about the ABCDs of the needs of the boy. And I want to start with the first one, A. A stands for the 3 A's that I say is a need of every child, and especially the boy as we talk about him. And here we're talking about affection. The boy needs affection, surely from his parents. The mother does that so well in the first few years, and then the father as well, the hugs and the touch. That's affection. That's how he begins to grow, in touch with his emotions. But he also needs acceptance. He needs to feel accepted as a boy, and not to be told, I wish you were like the girl, but accepted as a boy, the testosterone driven boy who sometimes jumps from one place to another, and all of that in his own unique way of acting out and way of expressing himself. He needs acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean excuses for bad behavior. It just means you accept him as a boy. You don't compare him with a girl. So acceptance. And then lastly is affirmation, to be affirmed for who he is in his character, but also in his competences. So A stands for those 3 A's, and there's a lot more we could say from there. But B, we're talking about boundaries. We need to help the boy that you're raising up or mentoring understand his boundaries. Boundaries help us understand this is how far I go and this is where others start. So it helps us deal with responsibilities. This is my responsibility, this is not my responsibility. Responsibilities. Boundaries also help us in our relationships to know how to relate with others with boundaries, not to go beyond and get to hurt them or get hurt in the process. So boundaries is a second need. And then C, we're talking about community. The boy needs a community within which he gets to grow, a loving community. We're talking about the father. Every boy needs a father or father figure because the father becomes a model of what masculinity is, and begins to hold his hand and guide him into what masculinity is. But he also needs a mother, as we have said. And mothers play a crucial, critical role in the life of the boy, especially those foundational years. And of course, he needs a mentor. Even though I'm a father, my children, my son, I've invited another mentor to speak into his life. Of course, we have the teachers, we have the pastors, religious instructors, and just a large community that speaks into the boy. A boy cannot grow into a man in isolation. He needs men around him, he needs a mother, he needs other people around him. So C for community. Now D is for dare. Every boy, I remember growing up, I wanted to be dared to do something. Of course, bad boys dared me to smoke or dared me to do other things. Fortunately, I was able to say no to it. But every boy wants to be invited to something that takes courage to rise up to. And you need to dare him in terms of the visions and what he could do, and what he could do for the community, what he could do for himself in education, what he could do, stretch him by daring him, inviting him into something that is significant. Every boy, even grown-up boys like myself, they need a dare so that they can bring in the courage and feel like I can rise up and have the courage to do this and to fulfill that and the other. If you don't dare him, then other boys and people will dare him into the wrong things. but dare him into what is right. And lastly, E for encouragement. E for encouragement. The boy needs encouragement. Encouragement. He needs to know that he can fail, and when he fails, it's okay. And that's why encouragement comes in. He needs to understand that he has emotions, and expression of emotions is okay. He doesn't have to be macho and hide his emotions. That's not weakness. To be human means you're going to have failure, you're going to have emotions, you're going to have some weaknesses, and it's okay to express that even as a man, so that we don't bring the African boy today into the bird masculinities in which we were taught we should never show emotions, we should suck it up, and in the process we end up breaking or expressing it in the wrong way. So ABCDs, these are just basic things the boy needs. So as a mother, as a father, as a mentor, as a teacher, whatever role you play, if you give a boy these actually 5 things, then your boy will grow into a better man. I can't wait for the next 5 conversations we're going to have. So keep it here and invite other people to listen to this as we see how we're going to mentor a million boys in the next 7 years in this continent to be the kind of real man that we need and we desire in this continent. 412, let's raise up those boys. 4, 1, and 2.